What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Win podcast. I'm your host, Aunt Ma, co-host Justin Vaseur, and we got a special guest who was actually on the last episode. If you guys didn't tune in, you got to tune into that one because it was very special. So we had him back. Jason Griggs, thank you for coming back.
Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we love it. We love that last episode that you did with us. Learned a lot about your personal story of how you became a teacher to, the number one Airbnb guy in Las Vegas. And so now today we want to talk about long-term rentals versus short-term rentals, how many of those that you own and what you think everybody else should be doing in this market.
So remind us again, how many homes do you own right now?
I own 27.
Wow.
27 houses.
That's crazy.
And how much do you make a month off 27 homes?
So right now I'm at profiting my share of the percentage of that I own, 11,000 net a month.
Nice.
Over my mortgages. So I'm cash flowing around 11K a month.
Wow.
And in about 8 years time it'll be up to around 26,000 a month.
So when you say that's your own shares, that means that every single home you partner with somebody?
Not every single one, but in the early stages I did.
Okay.
I partnered with a lot of people.
So how many homes are yours solely, and how many are you partnered in with?
I'll use percentages. 75% of them I have partners with.
Okay.
And 25% I have by myself. I'm going to start doing a lot more by myself now because in the beginning, it's nice to have a partner to get like another set of eyes and ears on. But now I'm just super comfortable doing it, and I'm able to do them by myself.
So was your plan always to just, have people partner with you and maybe even figuring out? I'm sure your partners, you have several different ones, several ones that can help you in different areas of real estate or the properties.
Well, it kind of came down to financial. So it's like you can't go put down $80,000 on every single deal, right? So I'd rather do it 50%, and now it's only 40, and then I could go save up and then do another one. So I've been able to get into more properties by doing the partnerships.
Is the reason to get more properties? I can only assume as a realtor as well that it's mainly for the end goal of that, which is the equity, right? Because if you put in 80 grand on a home and you're cash flowing that 100% on your own, what's the difference if you had two of them and you're still getting 50-50, right?
Well, my whole plan from day one doing this is to get the real estate paid off. And I know it's a little bit against the grain. I just don't love debt. And, I saw and heard stories about a lot of people who went through the really bad crash.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the people who had their stuff paid off, it didn't affect them. And so if you have all your real estate paid off, no one can ever go and take it from you. It'll be very difficult to screw that up. And you're just renting the real estate for the long run, and it'll provide some serious passive income for you.
I haven't heard of that. You might be the first guy I've heard of who wants to pay off every single one of his
All
properties,
of them.
to where everyone else is trying to leverage their properties to buy another one.
No, I don't do
taking
that.
out loans out of the house, HELOCs.
Yeah, no. No way.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
And I get into arguments with these people about this a lot. And it's from my experience that every single person that I've met that's taken a HELOC out of their own home, they've pissed away the money.
What are they
Dumb
doing
things.
with the money?
They buy a boat. They buy
No
a car.
way.
Why?
They use their money for college. It's things
Okay.
like that.
But if that's their goal, then it makes sense.
I don't
right?
think it'll ever make sense to me why you're gonna do that.
Mm.
Because when you take out money of your house and then you waste it, you're just throwing money down the drain. Now, if you take money out to go buy other investments, great. Then I think it's worth doing. But the problem is that they never do that.
Right. Well, I think because everyone's on a different page where your mindset is I'm going to use as much money as I can to buy more homes. But these other people, are we talking about these are normal people or are they also investors?
Normal people and both. But here's my thing. I never ever want to spread myself thin.
Yeah.
Ever. So like let's look at my house. My personal house. My house is pretty much paid off. Now, I could go grab $600,000 in equity and go buy more real estate. I could do that. But I don't do that because I'm playing it pretty safe. Because if the market crashed tomorrow And I pulled out all that equity, and now I have a $700,000
Ooh.
mortgage payment
Right.
that I have to now kind of pay back.
Yeah.
And now my other investments are kind of spread thin. Now I'm screwed.
Mm-hmm.
So my rule number one was always pay off your personal house as fast as you can. Because now you have a safe valve where no matter what, if everything goes to crap, all your businesses fail, you still have a home for you and your family to live in.
Yeah. So if you are you're cash flowing money right now, right? And you're also paying off homes, you're saving money in case something were to happen, right?
Yeah.
A cushion. And then you also have money that you're saving for more investments. What are your percentages for each category?
So I go by a set amount. Every time I save up $25,000, I try to put it into a real estate investment, a rental investment. And I don't force it. If it comes, great. But now I'm at the point where I'm getting shown a lot of deals. And so the market changed and there's a lot of opportunities out there.
Yeah.
So, I bought one in Kansas City recently. So now I'm saving right now. I'm back in the saving phase. Take another $25,000. I'll go buy a different one.
Mm. So when you first started like investing and renting homes, did you like already know this was going to bring you all this income? Was it kind of scary, or like did you have a plan going into it, or you kind of just winged it?
So, my cousin Joe, my mentor with this, this was kind of his plan because all of his properties are paid off. And I just kind of saw, and like he's getting residual money coming in every year because his building's paid off, his houses are paid off. And so I like that. And I don't need to be making, $5 to $7 million a year. Like I could live plenty fine off of what my goal is off my rental properties. And so my goal is to get to about $50,000 a month, net cash flow. So you're living on $50,000 a month for the rest of your life.
Is that a 10-year plan?
I think now it's probably about a 5-year plan where I'm at.
Oh, 5 more years.
5 more years and then that's it. Yeah.
That's a total of 13 years for you.
Yeah.
To get to $50K a month.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, what does that sound like to you, Justin? Is that like, is that something easy that everyone can do? You just got to play the long game, or are you like, man, like this guy
I don't even
crazy?
know how to even really get started personally.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, trying to talk to you and other people, because I don't even know what that looks like getting started.
This guy's got his mind of his own. Like some people might think you're crazy
No.
for doing this for 13 years to get to that.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about real estate. It could happen quick. It could go down quick, too. But
Yeah.
luckily, I had a really good upswing. I started at a good time. But they say the richest people in the world own a lot of real estate. It's the easiest way to build wealth in real estate. So I just, it's true. It's super true. Because, I was a teacher, right? And to make that kind of money, it's impossible. It's just not physically possible to make that kind of money. So I was making $20,000 a year. At the high point, it was probably $70,000 a year. And I'll never, ever come close to that being a teacher versus real estate.
Right. So what is easier right now? Is it long-term rentals or short-term rentals?
So I think Vegas has the best rental market, period.
Yeah.
So you could flex the rentals between short-term and long-term. The difference is the amount of money you can make on short-term rentals is massively more, but it's a lot more work and a lot more risk. And the risk becomes into designing the house, furnishing the house. There's a lot more problems with the house. So you got to make sure that side of the business is taken care of.
Are you ever afraid of no one renting your Airbnb?
Yeah, because the it's constantly changing.
Does it happen?
Sometimes. Not like for a full month. But I had one that I thought was going to do good. It was just a regular house, 3-2, no pool. And it wasn't bringing in good money as an Airbnb. The expenses of it, the consistent turnover of the house. So I just ended up turning it into a long-term rental, a long-term furnished rental.
Yeah.
And so that worked out.
So how are you finding people to manage your Airbnbs? And then in terms of long-term rentals, how are you finding these people?
So I manage all my long-term rentals myself.
Okay.
And then I partner with a property management company for my short-term rentals, and we work together to manage them. My partner, Sean, he's amazing. He's a wizard with the short-term rental stuff. But you need to have your systems down when you're buying these rentals. So my systems are my processes of finding a tenant, and collecting the money and making sure that I have my plumber and my electrician, all these handymen just in case. So that's all been done. But the business itself is pretty simple. You're just buying real estate and waiting.
What is the first thing you look for when you're buying a property for investment?
I look at the location of it.
Okay.
It's the most important part. Location.
Yeah.
It's so true. So I just call it the eye test. If you drive down that neighborhood and it looks nice, it feels nice, everybody in the area loves going to that public school, there's restaurants, there's things happening, then it's going to be a safe investment. Now, let's go the opposite. You go into a bad area. It's a really nice house in a crappy area. No good. Not going to work.
That's so funny because most people from, I would say, the older heads that used to do rentals, people like my dad and, other old people that I know, they would go into the bad neighborhoods and look for those type of deals because they're like, you know what, this is a steal. We're getting it for so cheap.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the renter is. We'll get someone to rent it. And then, for me being like my dad's son, I'm the one that will have to pick up the trash after that tenant who was so bad. I have to paint the wall because they graffitied all over it, things like that.
Well, the whole business is you want to be headache free.
Yeah.
So are you going to have headaches with crappy tenants? Yes, you are. All right. And what I've done a good job of, I don't really have a lot of headaches.
Yeah.
Like it's ran pretty well. And so knock on wood, I don't have any issues. But there's always going to be issues with real estate rental properties, but I'm just buying newer homes, not things that are 40, 50 years old here in town. I look for good tenants, good area, and there's going to be a demand for that. Everyone's going to want to live in the best area, right? So, and everyone wants a nice house.
Yeah.
So they're willing to pay a premium for it.
So how do you choose between the house that you're going to buy for the investment to be short-term Airbnb or for a long-term rental?
It's two totally different businesses. So I always go by like the coolness of the house. The house is super cool and it's like buy and a major attraction. And I think you could get big money for it from vacationers to rent it short-term, meaning 3-5 days at a time. Then I'll go the short-term rental route. But it's more work. It's a lot more work up front. I have to go furniture shopping. I have to design the house. I have to do all these things. So I'm kind of at the point now where I still love long-term rentals. I'm going to look at one tomorrow. They're super, super clean. And they're easy. You put a tenant in there for a year. And then it's kind of just press and play. Like the year plays out and then you got to have a conversation with them again. Like, do you want to continue? Do you want me to find somebody else? But that's really the extent of it.
Now, like, I had a quick question. So, like, if I was looking into rental properties and stuff, is there a certain amount of money that I should be saving up for something like that, like percentage wise?
Yeah. If you go get a loan for investment property, you have to put 20% down. But the easiest investment that you can make is buy your own personal house and rent out the other rooms in it.
House hacking.
House hacking.
So buy a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house. Live in one, rent out other two, charge them $700 each for the room and utilities. Boom, you're making $1,400 a month. Now they're paying that mortgage.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I like that.
When you're first looking for your investment property, are you just looking for number one at first? Is it just looking at the best deal, or are you going there and be like, well, today's goal is an Airbnb home, so let me find that Airbnb home, or today's my first goal is long-term, I'm looking for a long-term home, or is it just a deal?
It's a great question. The cool part about where I'm at now is I don't know. Like, I get deals sent to me all day, every day, and then it's my job to go through them and scan them and make sure this one works. My biggest problem now is I want to buy too many.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so aggressive. I'm like, I can't buy all these.
Yeah.
So now I got to find the best ones. But when I see a deal, I'm very good at getting it. I see a lot of investors, like, they'll lose the deal. They'll get outbid by like $1,000 or $2,500. And I'd rather get the deal. So sometimes I'll overpay for deals, but it works out. Like, I overpaid for one once. So I paid $280 for it. I think I paid $10,000 extra. Yeah. Now the thing's worth $500.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, that $10,000, which, my partner was flipping about a little bit. Now the thing's worth double.
Right.
And nobody's talking about it anymore. The extra $10,000 we spent.
So it doesn't matter in the long run because of the equity, right? But
yeah,
when you put it into the loan and it's a monthly thing, isn't that when it really matters though?
Yeah, so you want to make sure that the property cash flows.
Right.
So I need to make sure that I am getting a good buy on it, meaning I'm getting a discount on the purchase of the home. Then whatever my mortgage is, I need to rent it for more than that. So if my mortgage is $1,000 all in, on a long-term rental, I'll probably aim for about $1,500 to $1,700 a month if my mortgage is $1,000. On a short-term rental, it's going to be double that mortgage.
Okay.
So I want to bring in like $2,000 to $2,200 a month.
Damn.
Can we still get $1,000 mortgages right now?
No, that's the tough part. So now,
So now they're $2,000.
This game changes.
Okay.
But so the prices of the home increased, right?
Yeah.
So did the mortgage payments, but so did the rents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so those mortgages that were $1,000, those rents were around $1,200. Now those rents are about $1,600-$1,700.
That's crazy.
It's crazy too, because like apartments are going wild as well.
Yeah,
like,
apartments are $2,000 in this
yeah,
town. It's
exactly.
nuts.
Like one of my friends, he was paying, I think it was $1,350 or something like that, and now they're asking for $1,700 or no, $1,800, and he can't do that. You know,
So what's he gonna do?
So he's been looking at properties, but now he's gonna. I think right now his price range is around like $1,500 or something like that. But it's a downgrade at
so
this
that's
point.
This is a good point. So we talked about it on the last episode, my relationships with my tenants, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I have a woman who's been in my unit for a long time, over 5 years, and I don't increase her rent. Her rent's at $1,200.
Mhm.
And I don't increase her rent. She's a social worker. She helped a lot of people with the shooting on October 1.
Yeah.
She's very involved in the community. She can't afford more than $1,200.
What is it worth?
It's probably I have other units in that complex. I could get $1,800.
Okay.
Okay, so I could juice her up $600, no problem. But here's the thing: I don't do it because one, I never hear from this really nice lady.
Yeah.
She doesn't complain. She doesn't bother me. She refers me business all the time. And for me to do that to her, that would screw her life up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not doing this for that.
And you're still
Right.
cash flowing anyways.
I'm still making money.
Yeah.
On that property, this example, it's my worst rental. It's my worst one. I barely cash flow anything. But the fact that this woman refers me out a lot all the time and she's not a headache, and I know for a fact she'll never leave. She will be in there forever. And I'd rather have her be happy in my place, have a good relationship. Will I eventually have to raise her rent? Yeah, a little bit, but I'm not going to go juice it up $600
Yeah.
because I know that will affect her.
Yeah. So if she did move out, then you would adjust the rates.
Oh, yeah, of course. Cause
Get that cash flow.
yeah, I mean, it's just market value.
Right.
It's just
Right.
business.
Right.
Yeah.
So I actually had two examples. I had a really nice girl. She's been my longest tenant. She's leaving. And so she wants to go buy a house. So she's gonna use me as her agent. And I'm gonna increase the rent on that unit. So I'll be making an extra $400 or $500 a month,
You know,
which adds up.
You make a good point because I after hearing that story, if I can find that lucky renter and that tenant, I'd probably keep them forever too. Because what's an extra $3,000 a year when this person is bringing you in clients nonstop?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and it's just like doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes in there's a lot of shady shit that goes on in this business,
Right.
Mhm.
and the moral high ground is not really around a lot. I see it all the time. People always want the quick buck. They don't think about the future. They don't think about their reputation.
Right.
But that's the most important thing to me is my reputation.
Of course.
And I'm telling you, man, if you just do the right thing in this business with buying properties and rent, and you figure out the right people to rent to, you will do just fine.
So you have all these properties, and which one makes you the most?
My big Airbnb obviously makes me the most. We turned it into a long-term rental because we rent it to the UFC now. But
That's awesome.
we were bringing in around. We had it on for a short amount of time. It was bringing in almost $50,000 for a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is your 9,000 square feet
Yeah,
home.
Yep.
How many bedrooms does this place have?
It's 9 bedrooms.
9 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And you got this at in low millions?
1.4.
1.4,
Yeah.
9 bedrooms.
Yeah,
That's
it's 9,000
insane.
square feet.
How much would that be in Cali?
off. This is a
3-4 mil.
I think more.
Maybe
Yeah,
five.
probably
It's
like
so
6.
big. It's so big in Cali or New York. It would be a monstrosity. There's so much land too.
Okay.
But yeah, like we got super lucky with that one. Not lucky, but we got like an educated. We threw like an educated dart at the board and it hit, which was really nice.
So how so you have this $1 million 9-bedroom 9,000 square feet home.
Yep.
That is now worth over $2 million.
Yep.
And you were able to get a deal with UFC.
Yep.
Because they have a show and they're using it. I've never seen the show. Is this like MTV's Real World type of thing?
No, it's Dana. It's called Dana White's Power Slap.
Okay.
And it kind of invented a new sport. It was a sport in Russia, and they basically just slapping each other in the face.
Oh,
Nah,
I see
yeah,
that
yeah.
all over
Yeah,
Instagram.
okay.
Yeah.
So that was their idea to do a reality TV show in the house for that.
So are they holding the tournaments in that house?
No, they have a facility. They train. They just sleep there and they film. The extra stuff.
So what are they using the house for?
Just to sleep. They sleep
like for the crew.
For the fighters or the slappers.
Oh, I see.
The slappers. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, does that scare you having all these strangers in a big house like that? And they're kind of renting for like at least a month, or how long is this for?
Yeah, we signed a longer term lease with them. I wanted to do the deal with them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
What if all these buff guys start destroying your place though?
It's fixable.
It's
all and they've broken stuff. But you know what? Like to me, it was all about the relationship.
okay.
Because now they know who
Right.
I am, who my partners are, and
Right.
they love the house. The house is getting massive exposure on TV.
Yeah.
We could always promote and say like, look, this house was on
Mm-hmm.
TBS that it's on, and it's just been an awesome relationship.
How did you even land a deal like that?
I got lucky, man. So I play pool. I'm like a big pool player,
Okay.
and we were doing a ton of like social on the house, and one of my friends that I play pool with, his name's Alex, he saw the house and was like, hey, I'm going to refer you to a producer that makes these shows. He runs all these different reality TV shows, and let him go see the house. So he came in and he just liked it, I guess.
That's awesome. It's just having the right time, the right friends. That's great.
Yeah, we got super lucky. Glad my buddy saw it. He did a really nice thing of telling his friend about it, and then we landed the deal.
Does it make you want to look for more properties
It
like
does,
that?
yeah. But you know what? It's not that easy, dude. I don't think I'll ever get another. The house is so unique.
I got it.
You know what I mean? So I don't know how many TV shows actually shoot out here, but
so that's your short-term rental one.
yep.
With all the Airbnbs that you have, what is the best amenity that you need in an Airbnb?
The backyard. You need a cool backyard for Airbnbs, especially here in Vegas. If you don't have a good backyard, then no one will rent your house.
What makes it cool?
Nice pool.
Because
Really
there's
nice.
a lot of nice pools. They got they got infinity pools. They got stuff with like bars in them.
Yeah,
They
all
got
that.
stuff with like waterfalls, fire pits. They have ones that have the rocks in the caves. So
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of
It's just like,
cool
I mean, you go
pools.
on vacation, right?
Yeah.
When you go on Expedia and you're looking at the place you're going to, what do you look at?
Yeah, I'm looking at the pools.
Yeah.
When I was in
Because I don't
tourism-
care
you're right.
about the room, right? I don't
Yeah,
care about the room.
You're so right.
Right.
When I used to come to Vegas before I lived here, I would pick the hotels that had the lazy river
Yep.
Oh,
or the
yeah,
beach.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm taking my kids to the lazy river. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yep.
you're totally right.
Yep. That's what we do. That's
crazy.
what we look for.
All right, so now we're getting actually into like what you actually need to get into these short-term rentals. Like what kind of like knowledge and like do you need contractors? Do you need property managers? Like
Yeah,
what,
you need
what kind
it
of
all.
stuff?
So you need to make sure you buy the right house, first
Mhm.
of all. So that's on you as a real estate investor. And then you need some help of like who's going to manage this thing, who's going to build it. You have to get nice furniture, but not too nice. You have to get nice sheets, but not the nicest because they get ruined.
Yeah.
All these things play into factor, like the designing of the house, the layout of the house is important. The house kind of has to flow. It can't be too choppy because people want to kind of like that open layout, like this house. They want to hang out together versus being in a smaller kitchen.
Yeah, because they want to fit 2 to 3.
Yeah,
they want to fit 2 to 3 families in one area.
Yeah,
so all
conversate. It's a unique business because you're in the hotel business, and you're trying to figure out like why your hotel is more popular, why you're gonna bring people to your hotel versus the other Airbnbs in town.
What do you? Well, I guess we have 2 questions here. One is, what do you like more, short terms or long terms? And then what do you recommend people doing?
It's for an for an average. Good. Is that you?
Yeah, that's my work. Sorry, I forgot I have 2 phones. My bad. Should I re-ask the question?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I asked.
It was which one does he like more?
Okay. All right. So I kind of have a 2-part question for you. What do you personally like more, short-term rentals or long-term rentals? And then what do you recommend everyone else doing?
So if you're a beginning investor, I would definitely do long-term rental first. There's just so much going into short-term rentals. It's a tougher investment, but if you could get the hang of it, short-term rentals are really good. They bring in a lot of money.
What are you looking for now when you get your deals in? Are you looking for your short-term rentals?
It depends. Like, I don't go out like today, like I'm going to go buy a short-term rental. It doesn't really work like that in my day-to-day. It's really like what just comes on my plate at this point. So like last week I had an opportunity, somebody selling their short-term rental in Arizona. An older gentleman doesn't want to do it anymore, or he's just not running it correctly. So now I'm looking at taking that one over from him because I feel like the way we do things, it could be a better investment.
I think the thing I got from this is that as a real investor, a deal is a deal, right?
Yep.
Take the deal, figure it out. A lot of people who aren't investors yet, who are looking to be one, they're thinking, what am I going to do with this $50K in my bank account? What's the maximum amount of money I can make from that? And that's why they're like, Airbnb, find that perfect home. And then it's like, it's so hard for them to get that perfect home because that's probably what someone else is looking at too, and they're competing against it, and then they end up not ever getting that home. So I'm trying to understand here. It's like, guys, if you want a deal, just go get one, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of deals out there, but like when I first bought my first 5 real estate deals, I didn't get them off market. I just bought them off the MLS.
Yeah.
So I paid kind of near what the list price was at the time, and I got lucky, and they kind of shot up over time in value. But just start there.
Do you recommend people who don't have money to try and rent out a home and then getting
the arbitrage?
Yeah.
I don't promote that. No, I don't think it's a good sustainable long business. I guess here's the problem with it. I'm gonna break it down for you. So everyone's like, oh, you could go rent this condo out for $2,000 and it could bring in $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about furnishing it?
Yeah.
Because you're renting it empty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that furniture is going to be $15,000 to $20,000. So right away you're upside down.
Right.
Because buying furniture is an appreciating asset. It's not a cash flowing asset.
Well, so I see this a lot on Instagram. There's a lot of Airbnb coaches that say, hey, you don't have to put a down payment on a home. You need $20,000 to furnish the home. You don't need $100,000 to buy a home. Why buy it when you can just rent it?
Yeah.
Right?
Those people are stupid.
I kind of agree with that.
Those people are stupid.
I mean, that's what I see a lot too. And honestly, like, it gets you excited, to do these things.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's a clickbait. It's a clickbait scam it's not a scam maybe, but it's like, it's not realistic.
Right.
That business is not a long-term sustainable business. Buying real estate and holding it and renting it has been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So it's a sustainable model. Now, what happens if you you rent it and then you furnish it and then the landlord's like, you can't do it anymore?
Right.
Then what? Even if you're making great money.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
there goes your business.
Yep.
I mean,
you're in control. Somebody else is in control of your business.
Now you're underwater.
okay, that makes sense.
crazy.
Right?
But you can now take the furniture with you and go rent somewhere else. Or are you saying that you can't do this Airbnb anymore, but you're still renting my place and you're stuck with it for the remaining of the contract?
So let's say you do this condo, right? And then the landlord, after a year, is like, I don't like you doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no guarantee you're going to get another one.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you have to move all that furniture. That's expensive. You have to set up all these things again. It's time, it's energy, it's money. And to really like do it on you have to get a lot of units. But there's a lot of overhead with those units because what if like your unit doesn't perform well?
Yeah.
Like when you long-term rent something, you're guaranteed that money pretty much. You're not guaranteed any income or short-term rentals.
So that's why you prefer the long-term rentals because, I mean, that's also why you prefer buying the home yourself because if you can't succeed in the short terms, you can turn it into a long term.
Yeah, because I'm in control of the business, right?
Yeah.
I own the asset. I control everything about it. I control the person who goes into that house. I control if I want to buy or sell it. I control all the maintenance that goes along with the house. With arbitrage, you have no control. But it just comes down to, don't you want to put your money in an appreciating asset? That's it.
Right.
So real estate is the best appreciating asset that there is on earth. The best investment on earth is earth.
Like even if it's not generating cash flow, like too much cash flow.
Yeah,
it's just like you have that.
well,
now.
look, when you buy a rental property, there's a lot of benefits. It could cash flow, but then you could also have a really good tax benefit. You could write it off. You could depreciate the asset. So that you can't do that with arbitrage at all. So I would love to go head to head with somebody about why they think it's a better overall business. I don't, because if you took 5 years of my appreciating assets versus the 5 years of those arbitrage numbers, like that's baby crap compared to what my properties have produced. My cash flow probably won't match theirs, but my values would crush what they're doing. So that's why I don't promote it. I don't think it's good.
So at what point did you realize like you needed to have like a team to manage all these?
Oh man, it takes a lot of people to operate a short-term rental. You have to have the cleaners in line. There's a lot of things that break because the house is in overdrive. It's constantly being used. So that's a pain in the ass.
I feel like if you're just doing one, you can manage it until you're trying to scale up. But most people, normal people, just want to do one because that's all the money they have.
Right.
So
my buddy Al does one, and the biggest problem for him is that he gets so many messages. So he's constantly like, yes, he got the booking, right? It's in. He's making money off that booking. But now he's wasting his time with that booking. Hey, how do I turn this on? What's going on here? Where's the key? So it's like he's like constantly. So it's like, yeah, you're getting good money, but you're also wasting your time into that little booking. And now he's not able to go make other money other places. So that's why it's important to have the systems down and build it out.
So do you have like a big portfolio that says like
yeah, I do.
A to Z, this is how you turn everything on, this is what you do, especially for the pools.
Yep.
You know, the pools are the biggest headaches in Airbnb. I remember I rented one before. I was in Palm Springs and I'm like, hey, can you leave the heater on and I'll pay for the gas for it? You know, I just want my kids to swim at night.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm renting it. And it was such a headache just to even get the landlord to do that. You know, they weren't doing it on time. It wasn't warm, you know, stuff like that. So
yeah, it's a pain in the butt, man. You're in the hospitality business.
Everyone's messing with all your switches and buttons, right?
Yeah, then they break your house. So I like to really just be super realistic that there's a lot of headaches and issues with short-term rentals. But if you can get it going, do it right, and the way I kind of teach it, then it will make you pretty good money.
Yeah, the repairs is not much compared to what you make, right?
Well, it depends. Like on my big house, like if something breaks, there's a lot of things that go into it.
What's the worst repair that you had to do for an Airbnb?
I had this one guy's NBA player. He kind of trashed my house.
Oh no!
Yeah, but
like an active NBA player?
Yes, it was an active. I don't know specifically who it was, Well, actually, I do, but I'm not going to say his name. He threw like a little sex party at the house and destroyed every towel, all the sheets. Like, it was just gross. So we had to replace everything, but he ended up paying for it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind that.
Yeah, but it's a pain because like now we have to go order stuff again and and then we didn't order enough, and then we have to go keep ordering. So it's just a pain in the butt.
So does that really cut into the profits of the property?
Yeah, it does, of course, because it's very hard to gauge how much of your house is going to break.
Right.
So it's like this past month, we didn't really make a lot of money on one of mine because there were so many things breaking. They broke the hot tub.
Oh my god!
They broke all these things, and it cost thousands of dollars to fix. Wow. Like we didn't articulate that was going to happen. So you try to guesstimate what's going to happen, but the thing is just in such overdrive. 12 people in your house constantly, things are going to break.
And not only is it you lose money because you got to pay for the repairs, but when it's broken, you can't even rent it out, right? You got to put it on pause. You got to wait for the sheets to come in and get the tub fixed.
Yeah, I know. It always happens when somebody is like in the house. Yeah. Because there's really not a lot of time in between. Like, I have properties that are booked 25 days out of the month. So when am I going to go fix these things?
Yeah.
Like, somebody's going to come in. They're going to turn something on. It's not going to work. So then they have to call, and then we have to bring somebody to fix it. So it's just like going to a hotel, right?
Yeah.
When you go to a hotel, some things aren't working, or there's towels missing, or...
Who's doing all this footwork? Is it the property management? And are they charging you every time they got to go out?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, they have a service fee, and they charge a percentage every single month.
Wow.
So like, over the year, how much does an average Airbnb make for you?
Good question. So, like, on my smaller ones, they'll bring in between $5,000 to $7,000 a month
each.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
But there's expenses that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Like, what percentage of that?
So on mine, whatever I gross, it's probably cut in half with the mortgage and all the expenses. So if it brings in 10, I'm looking at 5.
I see. Okay.
But sometimes less.
Right.
I mean, 5,000 per home, and let's just say 5 homes. That's kind of worth the headache.
Yeah, but it is 100%. But not every month do you get that.
Okay.
10,000.
We're just talking about holiday months?
We're just busy season.
Okay.
And so we just went through a really bad winter.
Yeah.
It wasn't busy. So that kind of hurt a little bit, but overall it makes really good money.
Yeah. So Vegas is a growing city. We talked about it in the last podcast. Should people start looking into buying properties now, since like the Super Bowl is coming in and all that stuff?
I think buying real estate here is a great thing. You should definitely look into it.
How do you think the Super Bowl is going to impact Vegas?
Forget it. I think it's going to be so massive, man. They said it's going to be the biggest Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the parties are going to be insane. It's just going to be insane. That's like the best word.
Now that scares me, because I'm like, I need to buy at least 2 to 4 rentals before the Super Bowl comes to Vegas. And I'm like, well, what if they trash my place now? You know what I mean?
Who cares?
But
who cares? Who cares, bro? You're making that money.
Like this, you have a brand new house, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
But my house that I live in, you could do whatever you want to it.
Yeah.
If I'm charging big money,
I mean,
it's all fixable.
Yeah. I mean, that's temporary issues. I think the biggest win out of that is if we buy a home now and Super Bowl comes, equity jumps up. Everyone who has eyes on Vegas, whoever wanted to have something, will then start buying after the Super Bowl. Equity jumps up even more. Like, it's just a snowball effect.
Yeah, it is. I mean, here's what happens when you have mega tourism. When you have mega tourism like we have, people come to visit, they have a good experience, they want to move here.
Mm-hmm.
That's how, because like other small towns, they don't grow as fast because people aren't going to go look at it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here we're turned into, like, I use my buddy Josh Galindo. He's like, this is a big boy market because we're bringing in big boy numbers of people coming to visit.
Yeah.
So now you have all these different types of people who are coming here. People are coming here for food. Like,
Yeah.
this is turning. I know you're kind of more into food than I am, But like, I didn't realize that this is a big food
Yeah.
industry town.
Yeah, it's comparable to LA.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I've been here 13 years. But we have some of the best restaurants now.
Yeah.
Right? It's turned to a big foodie. Like the bloggers of Vegas food are
Yeah.
massive.
Yep. Yep.
Right? So there's that. Then there's sports. And then there's the entertainment part of it. And then there's the shows. And then there's the like all these different things you plug in and these different events. It works out great for our town. And what's happening is the real estate is increasing because of that.
I think a lot of you guys who aren't in the Vegas area, like the three of us are here, you don't understand how crazy how fast it's growing in Vegas right now. We're talking about Universal Studios, who's creating this Forever Horror Nights theme park. As a tester, Vegas is going to have its very first theme park. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you have, LeBron and Mayweather, who's trying to bring a basketball team here. That's going to blow up, right?
Yeah.
We got a soccer team that's trying to come. The Oakland A's are trying to come. You got that Moon Hotel that's building right now.
Every time I think it's like over the top,
Yeah.
and then like I remember when Top Golf opened.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
this isn't gonna last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's booked every freaking weekend.
You know how expensive it is,
It's expensive and it's booked.
Yeah.
We're talking about like $80 for 1 hour.
5 years now. Yeah, 5 years now. The
Yeah.
thing is, I swear to God, I'm like, this won't work. I'm like, this will be closed quick.
I don't understand
is
why it works,
booming.
though.
It's booming because people come and we don't go to it. I don't go to Top
I
Golf.
went
Yeah.
once just last week, and I'm like, I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy a cocktail for like $25. It's crazy.
Right, but people, when they're on vacation, they don't care.
Yeah.
They do not care.
That's crazy.
And so that's a good example of tourism.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go It's the nicest Top Golf in the country. Let's go. And it crushes.
Yeah.
And you got like major companies moving their headquarters over here too.
I did see a Google building.
Google, yeah.
Yep. I also saw Uber.
Because it's cheaper. Now these big companies, it's cheaper to live. We have no income tax.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We have all these perks that we're spoiled because here in Vegas, we have the best entertainment. We have the most fun city. And it's very affordable to live here.
Mhm.
It's gone up a lot, but it's still super affordable to live here.
I got these money signs lighting up in my eyes right now, and I'm like, should we just start doing commercial properties now? Should we start buying and renting out to Google?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's a different business, but I think anything in this city is going to do well.
So you have like all these properties that are being managed and all that stuff. What does your day-to-day look like?
Oh, good question. So I wake up. The cool part about real estate is not every day is the same.
Yeah.
You're not going to talk to the same people every day. You're not going to do the same thing every day. So I wake up. The first thing I do, I go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I never miss that. And then I just get to work. A lot of my work's through my email. Just talking to different investors. And then I'm on Instagram and Facebook Messenger a lot. Or I'm on Facebook going through groups, investment groups, and people looking at deals and networking.
Is this something that like you have an office set up for, or you kind of just like throughout your day check your phone?
No, I'm a big office guy.
Got it. Okay.
I go to the office every day. I
Nice,
spend a
nice.
good amount of time in the office.
Would you say right now you're financially free?
No. I need to work. I
Well-
still need to work. Yeah.
At what point is it you hitting that $50,000 a month, saying like, okay, now I'm financially free?
Yeah, that will alleviate a lot of the pressure. Because if you have a constant $50,000 a month coming
Yeah.
in, you don't. The way I live, I don't need to work anymore.
Are you still going to be going to the office, or now you're going to just
Well, yeah, I mean,
vacation?
becoming successful and wealthy, is great, but it's like, what can you do with it?
Yeah.
So I just had breakfast with a billionaire. He's worth $9 billion.
Wow.
And the thing that I took out of that, he's the richest guy. Like, you think of Mark Cuban, right? You know
Yeah.
Mark Cuban? He's worth double
Wow.
Mark Cuban. That's how rich this guy is. And the thing that I took away from sitting down with him, it was, one, he didn't look at his phone. We were there for almost 3 hours one time.
Mhm.
He owns 240 companies. And the big premise behind what he was talking about was all he cares about is helping people.
Wow.
That's all he
Nice,
cared
yeah.
about. And he just went through it. He goes, I help people start companies. I'll invest in their startups. I'll help them succeed in my teams or my companies, whatever. And he goes, I just help thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Wow.
And that's all the money does for him.
That's his purpose.
That's his purpose. That's all he
Wow.
does.
That's incredible.
And self-made, but it's just unbelievable. Like, you think you're doing good.
Yeah.
50 grand a month's good, but it's not even on the same freaking planet.
So he has like
that
the same purpose we do. We just don't have $1 billion.
Exactly. I mean, like
Yeah.
this room alone has so many different levels of. I guess we all have our own goals.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. We're also. I'm grateful of where I'm at right now. Right. I got this podcast with you, Justin.
Mhm.
I got a YouTube, channel. I'm doing real estate, and I'm really happy where I'm at. Right. And then you got Jason, who's got 27 homes, trying to get a $50K a month, and he's very happy at where he's at. And like, man, this is just listening to you and that billionaire is a humbling experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all relative, man, to what you want. Like, if I could get to that number and I could go coach my son and lacrosse or whatever we're doing, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need some people need the private jets. They need the nice cars. They need that stuff. Like, yeah, that stuff's cool, but that's not why I'm doing it.
I think I'm okay with about 30K a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think financial literacy isn't talked about enough.
Yeah.
So people aren't comfortable talking about how much you make, how much you want to make.
Yeah.
I'm super open about it. I talk about it a lot because, like, if I put it out there, like, I need to get to that, or else I look like kind of like a bozo, right? Like, I'm not getting there. But I like talking about money a lot, and I never really had any growing up. So now that I have some, like, when I go out and I network with people, I'm asking them, like, how much you bringing in? Like, I want to know.
Yeah.
Maybe I could learn something that
Right.
they're doing that I could put into my business.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What's been your like most baller purchase? A Ferrari or something? No, just kidding.
No, I'm not on.
Yeah.
Like, I live super simple, man. I
Yeah.
really do. I don't have anything crazy.
Those are the richest men in the world, man. The ones that live simple.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I was like,
That's a
maybe
good
you got a
question.
watch or something?
Yeah, I bought a nice watch recently.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought a nice watch. I don't promote it.
Mhm.
I bought a nice watch. But, like, I like buying other things. Like, I bought Raiders season tickets.
Oh,
Wow.
experiences.
Yes, I bought Golden Knights season tickets.
Mhm.
Like, I have those two things.
Those cost more than a watch,
Yeah.
don't they? And
Yeah.
that's a yearly thing.
Yeah, it's a yearly thing.
Wow. Okay.
But I love being able to have that. I'd rather that over anything.
Exactly. That's what I've always wanted. I've
Yeah.
always wanted season tickets to the Lakers or the Clippers. I don't care if it's in the front. I just wanted season tickets.
Yeah.
Like,
That's really cool that I have the Raiders season tickets. I
that's
enjoy
awesome.
All right, so right now we got some fan Q&As.
So these are the our fans that ask us questions through Instagram
Yep.
and also through the YouTube from you guys, and we want to answer them. Take advantage of having Jason here and really spit some value.
Let's do it.
So one of the first questions is, do you own all your Airbnbs?
Do I own them? Yes. I do not do any arbitrage. I have partners with my Airbnbs, but we own them all. Yes.
Got it. Okay, cool. I think we answered this in a previous question, but what is like the number one amenity in an Airbnb?
The backyard.
The backyard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, what if you live in an area that doesn't have a backyard? We're talking about San Francisco, New York.
Yeah, that's different. I haven't tapped into those markets. So, like, my answer to that is based on my market that I'm pretty good in. But, like, I own houses in Kansas City that don't have nice backyards. And so it's like the niceness of the house. There's bright white cabinets, nice open kitchen, and it's close to the Kansas City Chiefs football stadium.
I see. So it's purely location.
And to, like, a mega attraction.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a lot of times when a backyard is necessary in a cold season.
True.
True. So people like to have, pool tables or arcades. Do you think any of that stuff matters?
You know what's funny? I'm a huge pool player. I put pool tables in all my houses, but yeah, it's not worth the $6,000 that it costs to buy the table. It doesn't bring in any extra value.
Mm-hmm. One question that I have is, are there any obstacles that you have to go through to do an Airbnb in Vegas? Like, do they?
Yeah, great question. So yes, you need licenses. You need a license on each property.
What I know is that it's very difficult to get a license in Clark County. Now we're in March, and they do a lottery system, right?
Yep, lottery system's coming, and you have to have your application in, and we'll see how that works.
That's insane.
That's something new.
That's something new this year.
So that means most of people who do the Airbnbs in Vegas are outside of Clark County, but the ones that are doing it now are there's a lot of fake or they're doing it illegally. Like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, a lot of people are doing them without, because there's no really rules. There's no rule set for short-term rentals in Clark County, meaning like the city of Las Vegas. So people are just doing them.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy because in LA,
And you're not supposed to be doing them.
the moment you do something illegal like that, they're on you.
Yeah.
They got code enforcement that are looking out for that stuff. So I don't understand how you can put it on a website that's worldwide and not getting caught.
I've had people get caught, friends that got caught, and I've had friends that are doing it and they haven't been caught.
What do they get penalized?
They get a fine, and they get
Is it a lot?
they could potentially lien your house. They say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of
I'm
crazy.
not. But I'm not doing an investment to have that happen to me.
Right.
So I stay away.
What do you do if one of your properties doesn't get booked?
So if you're having trouble booking your property, the biggest issue is price. You need to lower the price. The
I
price
see.
is off.
Mm.
How do you promote your Airbnb or get more eyes on it?
Just through social media.
What if these people don't have, they only have like 100 followers?
Then you got to link up with somebody that does have a big following to help promote your properties. Like, for example, the casino hosts here, we try to tag them in some stuff so they could blast it out to people who are coming. But if you did the research the right way and you built the house out the right way and it's nice, it'll do well.
What should be stocked in a house for Airbnb guests?
Everything that you need to run the house the correct way.
Do you do like goodie bags when they come in?
Yeah, some welcoming goodie bags is fine.
Do you think it's necessary?
Yeah. You want the people to feel like when you go to a hotel room, you get that welcome basket. You're like,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I like it. When I get a little snack bag, stuff like that.
Mm.
I enjoy it. Okay. Then we got one more question from someone on Instagram that said, do you need a decibel
Monitor?
I always recommend it. So they mean noisemaker. Noise meter. Sorry,
okay,
not
that's what it is.
noisemaker.
I know they
Noise
have
meter.
those in Big Bear.
Yeah, so if it goes above a certain loudness within the house, the alarm will trigger, and then the owner will know it's getting a little too loud in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that for every single one of your homes?
We do for short-term rentals.
How many times do you get that call?
I don't get the call, thank God, but they go
Nice.
off.
Is there like a limit you can set it to?
Yeah, but we have a city limit. I think it's like
city
70
limit.
something. I don't even know, to be honest. Cause
I see. So you just set the number. I thought you'd be in the house yelling until it goes off, and that's when
No. It
turn
has
that
to get
down.
loud.
Okay.
Yeah, because they gave us examples of how loud it needs to be
Mm-hmm.
for it to go off, and it's a pretty loud. It's like having a party with loud music.
I had one more question. It's kind of random, actually. So a lot of complexes that used to be apartments are now selling their properties. Is that something worth looking into, or?
Yeah, they call those condo hotels. I've seen that recently. I'm not into that right now, but
Mhm.
it could be. Buying multifamily real estate, then they sell individual units.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like multifamily is not really existent here in Vegas compared to Los Angeles and anywhere else where you can have,
Fourplex.
yeah, fourplexes. Over here, you just have you have 4 units, but it's an apartment, a 4-unit apartment or something, unless you're the big builder. But what I got from this episode today, guys, is that short-term rentals are definitely worth it if you have the time to do it.
Yep.
But Jason does prefer long-term rentals because it's all about the long game, which I
Yes.
totally agree with.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
you mix and match both.
Yeah.
And if anybody's interested in learning how to do it, I have a program, Win with Airbnb.com. Go check it out. It's an awesome little, created a little course on how to do it.
Awesome. So also you can follow Jason on Instagram, J Griggs Real Estate, and he has a YouTube channel as well. What is the YouTube channel?
Jason Griggs Real Estate.
There you go, guys. Thank you for tuning into this episode, and thank you, Jason, for being here. Guys, I hope you got a lot of wins and knowledge from this episode. So until next time, we'll see you.